Mintabie is near an opal field and both areas are on Aboriginal land. The SA government leased the land from the Anang Pijant Jatjara Yang Kunit Jatjara, APY, people since the early 1980s. The government issued 12-month licenses for people to live or run businesses in the town and mine the surrounding opal field. This is the main road to Mintabie, but we are not traveling that route. We are taking a detour north and traveling along a creek to get to Mintabie. The dry creek bed is over there to the left where the big trees are. The creeks out here are dry until it rains.
Came across this beautiful solid box and it's locked. It's got a special lock on it, but we've got the stuff to open it. An empty box, but it's amazingly heavy, solid box. We're going to try to fit it in. We're going to try to fit the box in here. We'll put the box in and fill it up with the stuff that we take out to make the space.
We are leaving the dumping ground, heading into Mintabie. You can see the overburden heaps from opal mining, off in the distance. It must be a hard road on mufflers. Every now and then there is a muffler left on the road. It is obviously a car dumping ground with burnt out cars of places along the road. You can see snippets of the town through the trees as we approach. Last year the South Australian government decided to implement a decision the former Labor government made in February 2018 to terminate the lease following an independent review in 2017. Residents were given a year's notice to move out. People living in Mintabie without a license were asked to contact the government to outline their plans for departing the township. Those with current licenses were able to renew them until June 30 of that year, but residents without permits were required to advise of their plans to relocate by February the 28th. It was considered that visitors without permits were trespassing on freehold land. Up to 60 people were then living in the remote opal mining town of Mintabie at any one time. The town is located on the APY lands, and its residents and a handful of businesses are subject to a series of leases and licenses that are reviewed annually. A review of the town raised serious concerns about widespread unconscionable practices in the township and estimated there may have been about 20 people living here at any one time without a license to do so. In December of 2017 alone, the report stated that there were reports of an arson attack which destroyed a house, a woman being imprisoned in her house and sexually assaulted, verbal threats towards store owners, 3 cars being set alight, a deliberately lit grass fire near the school, a break-and-enter at the school, numerous residential property break-ins, hooning, and drug dealing. The report noted that none of these matters were brought to the attention of police, and it recommended the state government cancel all commercial and residential leases. It also urged the government to arrange for the town to be remediated and handed back to the independent body in charge of managing the APY lands. The government accepted all 14 of the report's recommendations and gave residents a year to clear out. Residents and commercial leaseholders had yearly licenses. That's why they transitioned the closures over 12 months, given that that's the term of the licenses, rather than do something like cancel them straight away. A number of elderly residents expressed a desire to stay in the town. The government said after 12 months, any extension to their residential lease agreement would be at the discretion of the APY Lands Authority. The state government commissioned the review after the owner of the town's general store was found guilty of running an illegal credit business known as Book Up that ripped off local Aboriginal people. Book Up refers to an informal credit system that allows people to buy goods on the spot and pay later by providing their account information. The store owner was fined $167,500 for withdrawing almost $1 million from the accounts of local residents between July 2010 and November 2012. Residents went to court to keep the town open in 2019, but lost their battle and had to move out by the end of the year. Anything left behind became the property of the state. Mintabie had been home to about 30 permanent residents by then and was crucial to Australia's opal trade for more than 40 years. The land had been leased to the government by the APY Lands Executive for the purposes of opal mining since the 1980s. Some residents had been forced to leave some of their belongings behind because they had nowhere to put them. They had mental health nurses go to talk to everyone, trying to keep the spirits up. Earlier that year, the state government offered residents support to relocate to state-owned housing at Coober PD, Port Augusta and other locations. In June 2018, former residents were asked to leave by June 2019, but in the end December 31st was mutually agreed. Former residents were given 12 months notice and asked to leave in the middle of winter last year, but they asked for more time which was given and they agreed to the December 31st deadline.